had the right go. You know, luckily, well, not luckily, but you know, fair play to our lads. They stuck in there because I did think once they scored in the 89th minute, we looked a little bit out on our feet. I thought they may come back strong, but you know, we've weathered the storm really. I'm not sure that they believed he could go on and win it. Maybe we're looking for penalties until we've obviously scored straight in the second half.
You mentioned you created a few chances without ever being, you know, totally in control of the game, but in the end, was it just a case for you that you were disappointed that you hadn't killed them off?
I think we should have won the first tie. We shouldn't have been here. But you know, cup ties are difficult. You know, they're a good side. They've got some good players. Got some good young players, as you've seen today. And they wanted to come here. They know what without being being funny. You know, they know what the next round brings as well. You know, and financially for both clubs, it's a massive carrot, but also it's a massive cup tie. And everyone wants to progress in the FA Cup. They've come here, you know, changed the system, looked lively. I think overall, you know, I think we've had most of the game without being great.
I'm sure on your whiteboard before your game you had both them substitutes planned, didn't you?
Yeah, obviously, yeah, it was always planned. No, it was, lads have come in, you know, that's what we say, you know, they can come off the bench and make a difference. Because I just thought at the time, we were just looking a little bit laboured, running out of ideas a little bit. First half, just before half time, when we did get it down and pass it, you know, we created the two best opportunities of the game, and you know, we've got to get our key players in the game more. But you know, a bit disappointed tonight with a little bit, but maybe, you know, I don't know how much Saturday took out of them because it was basically the same side. You know, obviously Paul Linwood has got a bit of an Achilles problem. But all I can say tonight is, you know, we were winning the next round, and that was what we came here to do.
I can say you got to regroup now, haven't you? Get the lads going again for Saturday and a big game here against Halifax.
Well, if they didn't get enough for Saturday, they shouldn't be playing for Chester. If I'm honest, that's a big game. Halifax game's been called off tonight, so I'll use the old cliche. They'll be resting. Neil's probably been watering the pitch. No, I'm only joking. No, you know, we know how good Halifax are. We've seen them here, but we know how good Chester can be. So, you know, we'll go away. We'll have them in this week again. Have a look at our injuries and regroup and try and put on the performance on Saturday. You know, and what Saturday does bring is we've got another forward option, because I just thought Nathan and Mark, you know, we just needed another option on there, and obviously Tony Gray's here now and eligible for Saturday.
And obviously from your point of view, you picked up a couple of niggling injuries, what looked to be tonight. Obviously Paul Linwood's got an Achilles, and you picked up a few other bumps and bruises along the way, didn't you?
Yeah, and a lot of tired legs. I think, you know, I think Paul Linwood's got an Achilles, which is the biggest issue I think at the moment. I'll be honest, you know, Don Collins, I thought when he came on, was probably our best player, if I'm honest, in the whole game. Thought he was excellent, you know. You know, they've got some quick lads, but at times he just made them look quite slow, to be honest, at times with his pace. But you know, I thought him and George done very well. I thought George Jordan had a great game. Weathered most storms. So if you look at the size of them to the size of us, we weren't the biggest team. And set pieces were always going to be a problem. But yeah, you know, we've come in, we'll regroup, and as I say, we've got a big game Saturday now. You know, and we know obviously the next round of the FA Cup is an offer for both teams. But I'm sure they'll be coming here looking to get one over on us after we've beaten them here 2-1.
You touched on it a bit earlier on. Financially for the club, it's massive, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. Obviously the prize money, I think, is 4.5 today, plus whatever the gates are of the two games that we've already played. But then hopefully you would expect, although you know, it was a quite quiet crowd here today, and you know, small in number, I think a lot of people were thinking that we're already through to the next round and counting on Saturday. So I'm counting on them Saturday to turn up in the thousands and get right behind the lads, because we are in for a difficult time if we're going to progress and get into the